Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
And it's that magical time that everyone wants to hear.
We're going to announce...
Viewer of the Week!
I was going to make something else up. But yes, we're going to announce Viewer of the Week. This week's Viewer of the Week would have been,
mind you,
had she ever watched the show, my niece, fill in the blank, frankly. Well, I was going to pick on Lauren, but then I was like, I bet Sydney hasn't been watching.
Sydney hasn't been watching.
I bet Elise isn't watching. I bet Adrian isn't watching. I bet even Jessica isn't watching. Jessica,
I didn't know you had a Jessica. I didn't know there was a Jessica.
She's connected to George
David
Michael.
Paul? Oh, George Michael.
Yeah,
that Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica
I
is
didn't know
responsible
Jessica.
for George Michael now. At any rate, because we have heard not
responsible for George Michael. She has custody.
That's what happens when you get married. The wife has custody of the husband.
It's the truth.
That's how it works. Anyway, because we have heard not a peep from any of those, this week's Viewer of the Week is my other niece, Kylie.
Yay, Kylie!
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
She watches every week. And how do we know she watches every week?
'Cause she's
here.
Kylie, come stand over here for a second.
Yes.
Have your 30 seconds of fame.
Wave to the crowd.
It's Kylie!
She's so red.
Okay, go sit down.
Okay, thanks, Kylie.
We're still working on a nickname for Kylie. She's like the Scooter alternative when Scooter
Right, the
ditches
next
us.
generation or
Yeah.
something. All right, so speaking of announcements, there is something that I wanted to talk about because we've kind of forgotten to lately. The Speaking of Goth campaign
That
is
is
still
right.
on. Hashtag So Goth.
Hashtag SO Goth is speaking of goth, not so goth.
But I like So Goth.
Let me tell you something right now. All right? If you have liked our page on Facebook, that's not subscribing. Just
Subscribe.
FYI.
Please subscribe.
Just subscribe.
It's how we earn our yearly 2 cents.
Right? And look, I get it. The Hubs won't subscribe because he doesn't want Google to know that he watches us, which he doesn't because he thinks he gets the live show all the time.
He hasn't had a
Whatever.
live show in years.
It's true. We've
been at a PBJ for a while now.
Right? Anyway.
What a crock.
Yeah, subscribe. Share us with your friends because who doesn't want to see me with one of those spiky dog collars and black lipstick?
And I do have kind of my little goth outfit planned out. And
So that means
I'm
we
planning,
need
I want to go on
125.
with like the paint. I want to do it like all of it.
So you want to be a mime or you want to be gothic?
Aren't they one and the same?
Sorry, honey, you don't need no paint.
No, I'm going to be even pastier.
Heaven help us all. But that should be more motivation. Subscribe
Right?
and share with your friends. Get your friends to subscribe. And no, you can't subscribe and then unsubscribe later because
That's just me. We track these things.
and oh yeah, we do, and we get vengeance. But also, if we get the subscribers and then they go away, we're taking that video down.
Oh, like that. Like a snap.
That's
Anyway.
right. I think Wesley even.
Wesley.
Oh
would-
no, he didn't subscribe.
He liked our page.
Wesley,
Come on, Wesley.
We talk
Come
about
on.
you enough.
And all my little new JetBlue family. Come on.
Yeah, subscribe already.
Let's
Commit.
get on it. Come on.
You think you're Jared's fan club? Well, prove it. Hashtag prove it.
So speaking of jobs, which makes me think of coworkers, leads us into our first topic this week.
Oh
Have
my.
you ever... And the only reason I say this is because I had a coworker, but I realized
He
that
had a coworker.
I've had
but he
many.
took care of
That's
that.
right.
That's like, I wasn't an only child back then.
Those pictures mounds got to come from somewhere. Anyway,
Anyway,
producer just got it. Anyway.
I did get asked recently. Well, never mind. We won't
All
go
right.
there.
So, have you ever been around someone, and it could be husband, friend, whatever, that they like to talk to themselves, okay? So, I had a coworker. Oh, no. This is worse than... So, we're sitting, and this
We'll talk
person
later.
would just talk. And
not
if you...
to anybody in particular?
Not to anybody. So, one time... Because he's just talking, and I'm the only one that realizes he's talking, so stupidly I think he's talking to me, because
Jared thinks everyone's talking
Right?
to him.
So, I answered him, and he looks at me. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to her. This woman that's 10 feet away, out of earshot, has no clue. And you're going to chastise me and get out. I wasn't talking to you.
Well,
So then, it happens again. And it only took twice for me to learn. You know, once bitten, twice shy, all that nonsense. So then he's talking.
slow learner.
He was talking, I can't even remember what, and I answered his question. I wasn't talking out loud. Clearly you were. My mind reading powers are getting real good.
This is when you say, "Oh, I know. I just wanted to give you the answer." Freak him out and make him think that you can hear him when he's not talking out loud.
So after that, whatever.
I understand that. I don't like it when you're in a closed proximity. So let's say that, we're in this room and there's, 5 of us in here right now? You can only see 2 of us. Optical illusion.
They're not imaginary, right?
They're not. And it's not Beverly, so don't be starting rumors. Anyway, hashtag Beverly is real. Producer reminded me about our hashtags, and well, there you go.
You got a hash when you got a tag.
So let's say there's 5 of us in here, and I start talking to one person, but I don't address that person first. Then what do you expect? Everyone's going to think that you're talking to everyone. So no, address the person that you're speaking to. Well, and maybe just follow the speak when spoken to rule.
And exactly, because, and we have this happen a lot, that it was the whole premise for this show. We can be talking, complete strangers will jump into our conversations.
It's true. And not just to tell us to shut up. I know what you're thinking.
No. And sometimes that's fine. Sometimes
it depends on the stranger.
It really does. And the discussion, for that matter. Anyway.
Awkward. Hashtag awkward.
Oh.
Speaking of people speaking.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with awkward, but that works.
Well, it was kind of awkward. Just when you're in a group, like you're at the airport, say, and somebody's on their phone, and they're talking so loud, and it just makes me want to go over and explain to them that a cell phone is actually a communication device that's legitimate, proven, and works really well, unlike the device they clearly think they're using of a Canon string. They can hear. My mom would do this on the phone. If it was a long distance call, she would talk really loud, and I'm like,
old days.
Right, and I'm like, Mom, I know that she's in Nevada, but she can hear you. You don't have to yell.
Sadly, I can remember the old days, and like talking to California, there was a time where you did have to yell. Yeah. I can't hear you. I'm here.
Nobody can ever not hear Jared. Let's be honest. Don't choke.
No, I'm not going to. So speaking of not being able to hear me, it reminds me of a time that I was on a shuttle. Yeah, I guess that's shuttle from the hotel.
I guess that's what the kids are calling them these days.
These days. I was going to say a van, but that's so 70s and Scooby-Doo. Anyway.
Speaking of Scooby-Doo.
So, there was a guy, one of my friends was sitting at the front of the shuttle, I was sitting in the back, and laughing, having a hearty laugh with whoever was I remember, Sherry was sitting next to me. And actually it was Giles sitting in the front, and he was so upset because he couldn't hear what I was saying. Because he wanted to be on the party, but there you go.
That's not common that happens. Speaking of Scooby-Doo. The last time I was on a plane, I was watching a marathon of
Scooby-Doo?
No. Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I enjoy that show.
And it was the episode, which I don't watch that often.
Right.
But it seems like, of course, you always end up seeing the same episodes. But it was the one where Sheldon is demanded that he takes vacation time, and he hides in the back of Leonard's car and scares Leonard half to death, and then he's like, I'm going to hide under this blanket, you're going to sneak me into work. Now, if the security guard asks you what's under the blanket, you tell them that it's lobster traps, because that's how Velma got Scooby-Doo and Shaggy into the what have you. And I was like, now that's logical thinking right there.
Think about how many times we've done that, though. Getting into place. We saw this on TV. Surely it must work in real life.
Right?
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. And yeah, and I think sometimes All you have to do is believe in your... Just kidding. All you
It's
have
the
to
whole
do...
walk with a purpose. If you walk with a purpose, nobody questions you.
It's true.
Ever. See,
It's
producer
true.
is agreeing with us.
Yeah, like, don't look nervous next to the police officer. You smile and say hello.
How you doing, officer?
How do you dare to speak to them? If you speak to them, then they don't suspect you. Just throwing that out there.
I don't sense any background checks coming our way from that comment. Not at all.
Oh, no.
None.
I just mean in general. Because here's the thing, like, for instance, another television show on Modern Family, when
Modern Family.
Haley learns to drive. And there's like the clip at the end of the episode where she's driving and she's going too fast, I guess. There's a police car behind him and she freaks out. She's like, I hate cops. I hate cops. And I'm thinking, based on what? If you hate cops, it's probably because you've gotten in trouble. And if you've gotten in trouble, it's probably because you're not good at being stealthy. And if you're not good at being stealthy, then clearly you haven't been keeping track of what we're doing. That's all I'm saying. But then it's your own fault. I have a hard time with that. I hate cops. Well, they probably don't like you either. Well, I'm just saying. It's probably because you deserve it. Can't we all just get along?
Can't we, though? All of
What?
us.
What'd I do?
You're just fine. So, speaking of awkward, funny
I feel like
situations.
I'm gonna get 5 to 10. Anyway,
5 to 10.
awkward situations. Let's
So,
go.
awkward situations. Have you noticed that whenever people are in a line, the boundaries of personal space suddenly do not exist anymore? At all.
That can be a problem, yes.
Whether you're at the post office or Disneyland.
Okay.
People act like being right up against your butt is going to get
like
them
it's
there
gonna matter.
faster.
Yeah. But here's the thing I have with lines, and you've probably seen this.
I probably
It does
have.
not matter where I am, how long the line is, or how close I
Right?
am to the end of the line. I apparently just emit an aura of part line here. Because if anybody needs to go through that line,
right.
they go in front of me. Oh, excuse me. Do I look like the person that's just nice enough to... Yeah, this has happened when I'm like 3 or 4 people from the end of the line. And, excuse me, and they put...
Right?
Why? What about
about?
me says, please walk in front of me? Probably the same thing about me that says, please pull out in front of me. Because apparently my car
Or please
is
ask
painted
for
with the same-
directions.
Yeah, my car is painted with the same paint used on Wonder Woman's jet. Oh, there ain't nobody coming.
No,
Behind me, no, there's not. So the fact that you had to get in front of me, I'll never understand.
Never.
We had that happen today.
We did have that happen today. And I was driving.
It's contagious.
It's by proxy.
It's true. I
Guilt
don't...
by association.
Right? I do not understand. Especially when... And if you do this, I'm sorry, but you're dumb. When you like pull out and...
At least she said. She gave you a disclaimer.
If you're like weaving in and out of traffic so that you can hurry up and wait at the next stoplight sooner...
Oh, that does drive me nuts.
I usually laugh at those people. So if it's you, well, sorry, not sorry.
Hashtag.
Oh, wait.
There's the next ringtone.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
It's just going to be hashtag. Hashtag.
Hashtag.
Wow. All right.
I'm done.
Yeah, I think
I'm
on that
over it.
note, we're going to wrap up.
Oh, we're done.
Done. You heard it here first, folks. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Sad that it's over? Well, it doesn't have to be.
No. Give us some likes and comments, and we will talk about you on the air. Tell us your funny story. Maybe we'll share it. You could be Viewer of the Week.
Viewer of the Week.
That's
you
right.
can join the ranks of Devin and Chris and Publicist.
That's right.
It's a pretty exclusive club.
It is. You should be in it.
You
So
should.
comment, like, share us.
Subscribe.
And subscribe so
Most
you don't miss
important.
any of the topics that we transition to between tangents.
See if you can keep up.
You can do it.